it's Twintuitive717. I am back with another video. I have been spending the last few days feeling a lot of anxiety, a lot of nervousness, and I'm getting a lot of insights about mental health on the twin flame journey. And for many of you who are resonating with the readings where it talks about your masculines being in and out, or they are quick to ghost, or they're unable to find the right words, I feel like they're trying to dissolve a lot of the bodily symptoms that they feel through connecting with the feminine, because what I'm getting is that they've gone through a very bumpy ride. It's taking them quite some time to actually see the feminine for who she is, and that's because the divine feminine has remained consistent in the queen energy and in the empress energy, very loving, open, fair, just, and really compassionate. And I think that this is an energy that he has not been used to, or maybe he's seen the energy, but it's also been filled with a lot of illusion and trickery. But with the divine feminine, it is crystal clear as to who she is. So what I'm feeling with the Chariot card is that he's really aware now of his behavior and how it's affected the connection in the past. And there's a lot of regret, but I feel like the regret is not coming from a negative space. It's more understanding. And like I mentioned in my last video, it's like he understands and he sees what you're saying now. The Chariot card reminds me of the masculine charging forward on this journey, because if you guys remember, I'm sure many of you have seen this post before, but it's an old Chinese proverb that talks about two people being connected by a red string, and it says that the cord may tangle or stretch, but it'll never break. So that's what I feel is happening, and what he's doing now is he's looking back on a lot of communication with you before, and he's looking at himself like, who was that person? Because I feel like many of you hinted at the twin flame journey and he really laughed it off and thought that you might have been like crazy, and it really kind of maybe rubbed him the wrong way, because he was actually working against a lot of the programming and conditioning that he grew up with. And many of you who are in twin flame journeys, way back in time, your masculines might have been very westernized and you feminines were like the outsider. You might have been like a gypsy or a card reader, and it was very taboo for the two of you to come together. And I feel like in this lifetime now, he's starting to see a lot of these things play out on this earth paradigm, where now he's becoming really wrapped up and involved in the unknown and what's hidden right in front of us. So, with that being said, if communication is coming forward, he's not going to do it in the way that you're used to, and he's going to make a point of doing that. So the Chariot card talks about wanting to communicate in a way that is a little bit more comfortable, and it feels better suited to who he is as a person, because now he's realizing that there's no judgment from the feminine. And I think that he was really afraid of that before. Many of you feminines are extremely well put together, where the masculines almost feel intimidated, or sometimes they might feel like they're not good enough, which is crazy because a lot of you feminines also feel the same vibration towards your masculine at times. So you can see how the two are really working through their own layers in order to come closer and closer together. So, with that being said, he's being very careful, and he's wanting to plan communication that is a little bit more solid and mature, where they want to meet in person. It's like walking into the water and realizing it's cold and you're like shivering, and the only way to really overcome that kind of fear is just to take a big dive. And that's what the Chariot card to me represents in this reading, because the Queen of Chalices follows, and this is a woman in his life that is creating peace for him away from the chaos. And I think that this represents a change in atmosphere, a change in the way he experiences life now. With the feminine in his presence, it's like putting on a pair of sunglasses and the world is just beautiful. I just feel that energy, and it's so beautiful, and it's so exciting to finally have him rise above the karmic influences in his life, connect with his own heart space, and really be so vulnerable to fall to his knees in front of her, right? Like to actually accept her nurturing and understand that this love thing is like a man and woman thing, and men are just as vulnerable as women when it comes to love. That's what I strongly feel that the Queen of Chalices is trying to tell us right now. With the Seven of Wands coming in here, I think that he's putting an end to a lot of the doubts and illusions and fears. The Seven of Wands speaks to me. If you guys notice the lizard here, it talks about our masculines having gone through a lot in the past in terms of heartbreak. I just feel like many of the experiences that they've had in love where they've actually tried to be vulnerable and put their heart out on the line has been met with extremely 3D behaviors from other women. And I think sometimes it's hard to go to that place where you think it's like men are only capable of cheating and playing around and doing all these things, but women are capable of doing those things as well, because again, we're here on earth having a very human experience, and the genders or the differences between us as men and women is just to represent duality, the light and the dark and the shadow and the light, right? So he's gone through some stuff as well. And if you look, it's like the feminine's whispering into his ear that everything is going to be okay. And it's like one hand is on her back where it's like, I trust you, and the other hand is almost like hesitant to really fully grasp her. But he's in that process of understanding that she's a safe place. She's the medicine to all of the heartache that he's experienced. And again, with her being in the Queen and Empress energy, she has consistently demonstrated over and over and over again that she is a sovereign being of love and light, and that there is nothing about him that scares her. She will gladly pull out her sword and face his demons. You know, I feel that passion for him wanting to come to a completion with the Ten of Wands coming in, being confident. It's like persevering through a lot of the fears and the doubts, and then with the Seven coming in there, it's like, you know what? I can get through anything. And I think I even ended the last video saying that she is in his presence, he can really get through anything. And it's really seeing this world in a brand new way. It's like feeling very playful and passionate and really wanting to create. And the feminine is doing a lot of the soothing of his anxiety about wanting to just be himself in this world. It's like the feminine doesn't play with his fears. He's had a lot of women in his past play around with his fears. And I think that he felt really vulnerable sharing a lot of these things with other women only to have it used against him. And some people are just like that out there. You know, they're not as connected to a lot of their light side. They're facing a lot of their shadow selves as well. And he has spent far too much time being around people who are still facing their shadow selves. And it's like the feminine really represents a lot of that new feeling that he's experiencing. And it's making him want to bring this into the physical with the Ten of Wands. The love making between the two, it's like the physical sex, the physical passion will bring about a new level of healing for them. And many twin flames who have been on the journey for quite some time, and you can feel your body changing in ways that are pushing you towards making the sexual contact a reality. You will find that the purpose is to heal your body itself, soothe each other in very intimate ways, and it ends up opening up a lot energetically to help push you both on your individual paths, heals you from the inside out, so that we're not experiencing life through victimhood anymore. It's like we can see each other and understand each other's pain, and now through this energetic process of healing, the twins just want to throw this vibration at other people and help them to do the same. And so all of these perspectives and changes in his attitude and just seeing the world really differently right now is really leading the way for him. There's a lot of anxiety about how he's going to bring this all together, but he just wants to let the feminine know that with her presence, he will make this possible. I hope this reading finds you all well. Take care.